Every time Disney raises prices or changes a perk, the same question comes up. Is Disneyland even worth it anymore?
You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica. Now let's jump into this week's episode.
Today, we're diving into what we're actually paying for when visiting Disneyland Resort and even some price comparisons to discover if your money spent is really working for you. This episode is brought to you by Arias Transportation. They'll pick you up from any Southern California airport and get you to Disneyland without the hassle. Visit ariastransportation.com for your reservation.
Becca, when things change at Disneyland, and especially the price of admission, food, or items like Lightning Lane, the conversations online usually swing hard in one direction.
Oh, yes. It's usually Disney has priced us out, or this nickel and diming has to stop. Then we have people on the other side that are just like, hey, great, less people for me to deal with, and don't come then. There's not a lot of room for like nuance between the two sides. You don't get a lot of people in the middle.
I know, and the online forums and chats can get feisty. So today we want to take some of the emotion out of it, hard as it will be, and we're going to give an honest look at what you're paying for in 2026 and the type of visitors that Disneyland actually caters to now.
So first off, you're not just paying for a theme park ticket and the park rides anymore. The costs are actually tied into access and efficiency somewhat. I have thoughts on that, but you're paying for managed crowds, they say, time entry, lightning lanes, and the ability to experience popular attractions without waiting all day.
Right. If it's written by like a Disney spokesperson, right? Because that's what they're selling us. They're selling us like that access, that efficiency. The pricing just has shifted toward being a premium model. So, for example, single day park tickets are priced by demand, and so is Lightning Lane. So, if you wait to buy until the day of your visit for Lightning Lane, you'll pay more because Disney at that point then has a more accurate data and crowd levels, and they know how much Lightning Lane is worth. And it's always going to be worth more to you if you're making that spur of the moment decision. You're already in the parks. You're already invested. They know you're going to pay more.
Yes.
Now, your admission is tied not to just what rides you go on, but when you ride them. And then that complex equation equals how smoothly your day moves.
Yeah. That shift is where a lot of the frustration comes from, especially for longtime visitors. They were comfortable with different operations. Like, how many of us miss the free paper Fast Pass or even Max Pass, which you're thinking, well, Max Pass is basically the same thing. No, it is not. No, it is not.
Right. So in 2026, we're seeing a new reality of what Disney is presenting us with. So it was a slow burn where some perks quietly disappeared and just evolved over time.
Yeah, and then there's the not so quietly disappearance, like early entry is now gone. And if you missed that announcement, it's happening right now in real time as we speak. The perks of early entry when staying at a Disney-owned hotel at the Disneyland Resort are gone. They're just gone now.
Mm-hmm. And we went over that in detail and some of the why behind that decision. It was in a September 2025 episode titled, "Why Did Disneyland Take Away Early Entry for Hotels?" So that's worth going back and listening to, especially as a companion to this episode. So like even if prices didn't jump dramatically in 1 year, the experience feels more expensive because you are planning more and you are getting less included by default.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of this nickel and diming and it's all that kind of stuff is coming from. And I find that even the people that are like, good, don't come then, even they are saying, yes, we're getting less. So one thing I notice is like the spontaneity of entertainment. We've already seen live entertainment like decrease a ton, right? But the spontaneity of live stuff happening has gone down a lot. Now, I will say my trip in November of 2025, this was right after they had announced that the Evil Queen would only be a Halloween type character for the most part, like her and all these villains, which they have always had the villains out more during Halloween time anyways. Mm-hmm. But because the characters have been going viral, it was kind of more well known that they were getting cut back. I went after that and it felt like they'd put more characters into the parks just roaming. Like I saw Anna roaming in Fantasyland.
Never have I ever. Cool.
Yeah. So there was just a lot more like that. So I feel like they're saving those things for when people are upset with them.
Oh, Disney is really good at the like, wait, but look over here. Here's something flashy and shiny and pretty. Like we did this, but look over here.
Yeah. On top of that, we've also seen a lot of things cut to like weekends only, like the Feliz Navidad street party and other things. So it doesn't mean that there's no value left. It's just that the value lives in different places now.
Right. And it's really important because guests planning want to know where is the value when planning a Disneyland trip. And the removal of early entry perks for Disney-owned hotels, that gives us a chance to see hotels more equally. And this is a huge place where you can score some value in your trip.
Definitely. Value in hotels is a big place to save. Other than your park tickets, it's going to be your most expensive part of your vacation for most people. And within walking distance, being that close can completely change how a Disneyland day feels. And you don't need a Disney property hotel for this. So one thing I like to tell people now is, okay, they got rid of early entry. And if you want the same level hotel, but one that's maybe more updated, the Courtyard Anaheim theme park entrance just did a huge renovation, right? And I feel like their level is up there with the Disney properties now that early entry is gone. They're also walking distance, midday break. They have a water park. So being able to leave, take that midday break, rest, grab some food that isn't park food, it's all a huge win. And we've done several episodes on the different walking distance hotels, and we have thoughts on a ton of them. So make sure that you go back through, and we have them all throughout, I think, the last half of 2025.
Yeah, and timing also matters more than ever. So that's another place where you're going to see value. And I mean timing your planning. So not necessarily when you go, but planning it out in advance. So right. Disney's doing California resident tickets during slower times of the year and kid deals during slower times of the year. And let me preface that also by saying you're not going to feel like it's a slower time of the year. Like slower is like a touch turned down. Like you're putting your toast in the toaster and you've got like burnt over here and you've got like barely anything over here. They're just turning that dial like a teeny bit, where a slow is very not noticeable. So don't think of it in that way. But if you can look at your year and you're planning in advance and you know, like, okay, they typically release these deals around this time every year, you can plan to take advantage of those deals. But typically you're not going to be able to have the most flexibility if you're doing a last minute trip or planning last minute.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is, like, now that my kids are all on adult tickets, I was so frustrated because last year the summer ticket was for everyone, and this year it's only for kids so far. But they could always change that. Like Walt Disney World just started a huge discount for the summer where you get 2 extra hotel nights free and 2 park days free when you stay at least 4 nights. Like that's huge. So your 6-night stay is now costing what your 4-night stay would have stayed. That cost. So you can get deals for your stays on both coasts. So whether it's Walt Disney World or Disneyland, at with our partners at getawaytoday.com/castle talk. And the great thing about them is they're not going to penalize you for booking early. So like I said, all my kids are adults now. The summer ticket offer right now is for kids. Even if I purchase the full price adult tickets for the summer right now, if a discount is released next month or 2 months from now for summer for everyone, Getaway Today will refund me the difference if I've already paid off my plan, or they will, credit me that amount on my account so I don't have to pay the higher price. So definitely check them out.
Right. And you said all your kids are adults now, and I'm imagining them in my head, and I'm laughing because they certainly aren't, but they're Disney adults. And then I'm laughing more because that term Disney adults is so silly and funny. And then now your kids are 10 and they're now Disney adults. So we're breeding these Disney adults even younger because at age 10, you have to buy an adult ticket. So your kids are officially Disney adults, and that has so many meanings when you look at it that way. So looking at tickets and booking in advance, see, my mind was just going somewhere totally different as she's like telling you about these deals, but booking those in advance gives you more flexibility to move your trip around if you'll save on tickets during a certain time frame. And then another thing you want to do at Disneyland Resort is always purchase that Lightning Lane multi-pass in advance, because you're going to lock in that intro price. So once you purchase it with your ticket, they can't change that price on you, and it's already loaded for when you walk into the park.
Yeah. And, that's a big thing, having that already there so you don't have to worry about it, because that plays into your strategy. And strategy matters too, but not in a stressful way. Like, I am going away. Like, there are so many things that we've preached for years that I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not talking about that anymore, because Disney vacations have gotten too stressful with the planning and the strategies. And so we don't want to say you have to be stressed out with your planning. So to me, the guests who seem happiest now are the ones who decide what matters most to them, and they build around that instead of getting the most done.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's what value does it bring to say, like, we went on 20 rides today if you didn't even enjoy them all, if it wasn't like your top pick. Like, if you don't like that ride, who cares? You don't need to tell people like we went on everything. Maybe it would have been more fun to ride your top 5 rides on repeat all day. Like, really do what matters most to you. And that also leads into who Disneyland is really best for and valuable for in 2026, because it's not the same audience it was 10 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, like back in 2000, and that was 25 years ago, actually 26 years ago now. Disneyland worked really well for spontaneous locals and casual planners, and you could show up and figure it out as you went. And if you can't imagine Disneyland being that easy, you need to go check out our episode from October 2025, where we take you back on a full day in the life of Jessica and I at the Disneyland Resort in the year 2000. 2 different days. We didn't know each other then, but we both went.
I know, that episode was iconic. Remembering all those details was so fun. It was like just such a fun time to like think back about all the things that have changed. But back to 2026, Disneyland works best for families who are willing to learn the system. You've got to put in the effort, because Disney has offloaded that ease of travel and learning to you. When you have that in your back pocket before you come into the parks, like knowing how the app works, knowing how to book your lightning lanes and where you want to start your day, that's part of the value that's been placed on you with your tickets. So you're going to get the most value out of it when you do the planning and the proper research beforehand.
Yes. And if you are going with a family and you want more help with that, you can join the Facebook group that Jessica and I have co-founded with 2 other Disneyland experts who happen to also be moms. And that is Disneyland with Kids on Facebook. It is a Facebook group filled with lots of people that are there to share their experiences and help each other plan. And then you have access to the 4 experts as well. So like you're saying, Jessica, if you understand how the park operates now and plan with intention, go into our group and learn about it, there is still a lot of magic at Disneyland Resort to be had with your family.
Yeah. So the final question is Disneyland still worth the cost in 2026?
So honestly, it depends on who you are and how you approach it. And also just like what you value as in your life. And valuing Disney or valuing instead international travel that's not Disney parks, because there are international Disney parks. I mean, that's just personal preference. This is not a it's wrong or right thing. I just feel like, we all have different things that we enjoy doing. And if that's what brings you joy, then, that might make it worth it.
Exactly. And before we wrap, I want to share some really important cost comparisons with you because we know Disneyland is expensive, but so many extras in life are costly. So let's share some quick stats just to reframe things a little bit because I kind of love to do this.
Okay. All right, Jessica. So I'm going to give you a baseline to go off of, Disneyland baseline. In 2026, an adult 3-day ticket sold by Disneyland starts at $425. That's no park hopper, those things. So it starts at $425. For a family of 4 adults, remember adults are 10 and up, that's $1,700 for 4 3-day tickets. So keep those baselines in mind. So What else are we spending money on, Jessica?
$1,700 for 4 people to go to Disneyland for 3 days. Okay. According to money.com, here are some other prices of popular things and experiences in 2026, such as a new iPhone 17 Pro coming in at $1,099. Okay. How many people have iPhones in their pockets? And you definitely don't just have one in your family, guarantee. So that's almost the price. A new iPhone is almost the price of your family's 3-day tickets. Oof. Okay. A medium.com article has stats that a 2-adult household that lives near San Francisco. Okay. We know San Francisco is a high cost of living, but this is for 2 adults, can expect to spend approximately $1,376.43 a month on Uber Eats. This isn't just like their grocery. This is Uber Eats. It says that 2 people near San Diego. So this is extra because I don't want to say your groceries cost this much. Don't eat for a month and go to Disneyland. No, we're talking about like extra because also like the iPhone 17 Pro, like you could get a different iPhone. You could get what's those other phones called?
Excuse me? Android's the best ones? Especially Samsung?
See, like you guys, like there's, so we're not saying don't eat anything, and we're not saying skip Starbucks. Okay, I've got some more.
Hold on, though. I do want to mention, like, people are going, well, I don't have that. I don't spend that much on Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever.
For real.
Like she said, we're talking about extras. This is a priority for someone that they want to eat the food that's in the restaurants around them. So yeah, okay. Let's just be more entertainment related though, Jessica.
Okay. So pro sports tickets, it's all over the place. I mean, I was looking at some and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get like a full stat. You could read articles, but this is a great one for women who are into Disney and whose partners are into sports or vice versa, anyone, right? Any gender, is to pick the team that they like the most, get some really good seats, and check out the average cost. So the average cost of an NFL ticket, I mean, it varies, but the average cost is around the $200 mark. And then think of like how many hours is that game versus, like a ticket to Disneyland and how many hours you're spending at Disneyland,
Right.
All of those things play into it. It's a lot of fun to have those kind of discussions with your significant others and be like, play that money game. But another thing General admission 3-day pass to Stagecoach Music Festival starts at $549 per person. And that price right now is sold out in case you're looking to go to Stagecoach. So it's actually more than that. So that's 3-day pass for $549, and then back up to the 3-day ticket for Disney is $425. So you come below Stagecoach.
I would say that Stagecoach Music Festival pass is pretty comparable to probably what the Park Hopper version of a 3-day ticket at Disneyland is, because Park Hopper is extra. So like we said, it's just, what are your priorities? What are the things that you value and enjoy in life? In the end, it's all about your goals and your priorities as a person, as a family, as a travel group, and what you want to spend your money on. So if this episode helped reframe things for you, share it with someone who's on the fence about planning a trip, or maybe that person that's like, no, Disney adults are weird. I'd rather go to a sports event.
Why did your voice drop like that, though? Where you're like, no, man. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
All the people I see online making fun of Disney adults are usually men.
But we have a lot of male listeners too, and we are here of celebrating that Disney dad and that Disney dude and everyone in between.
Yeah. So make sure you're subscribed. We'll keep breaking down how to make Disneyland work for you and not the other way around. And we will see you real soon.
You've been listening to Castle Talk Radio. Be sure to tune in next week for more Castle Talk with Becca and Jessica.